Hi everyone, Square Peg, Square Hole Live coming to you today from WPI. I wasn't really sure what to expect when I got here, but I have to tell you, I'm very impressed with what I walked away with. I have a whole list of things I could talk to you about in terms of what this place is great for. Clearly, it's Polytechnic Institute. Gives you an idea of what you're going to get here. It is definitely an engineering school, although they have a lot of minors in other more liberal arts, businesses, philosophy. So there are plenty of other interdisciplinary subjects that you could study here. But what I really walked away with this morning was the friendliness of the kids and the staff here. My husband and I were taking the tour, and we walked into one of their buildings, their lab building. Really, really cool labs, and that's coming from an old math major from Cornell, so you know that I've been in plenty of those along the way. The labs are really interesting, but what I found best was I walked into an office unannounced, said to the gentleman, "Are you a professor here?" He said, "Yeah, come on in and meet my student. Her name is Sam." Great conversation with her, and of course I asked, "What's the nugget that you want me to walk away with from WPI?" And she said that these are the most well-rounded engineers she's ever met. And I thought, that's a really great thing to think about for a school, right? So many of us have an image of what an engineer might be. The students here, though, I'm finding really understand the idea of interdisciplinary, right? So they work on these projects their junior year because WPI is project-based education. They're really focused on it. They want to make sure everybody here has the chance to get together with their peers, work on something that's interdisciplinary. So junior year, they work on what's called an IQP, Interactive Qualifying Project. And the student that I talked to today worked with a group of students down in New Zealand, right? So getting there and understanding what was the culture there, how do you do research while still ensuring the ethics behind the research when you're working with the native population. Who would think that that would be what you'd hear from an engineering student, right? So she's doing biomedical engineering, but has to work with others. Anybody who's going to work on an engineering project needs to be able to work with others, understand the other disciplines that might affect a project. So just a little tidbit, I think WPI might be the space for you if that's what you're looking for in terms of engineering. So some things that they are really strong on, besides the fact that they're projects, they have this really interesting way of doing classes. It's a 7-week program, so instead of your typical semesters, which means that you get a chance to study in depth quickly, number of subjects, and then figure out what you like and move into something similar or move into a different direction without spending 14, 15 weeks learning something only to figure out it might not have been the right direction for me. If you want to try something out, they give you a buffer of 3 extra classes, which they do without grades. So you can take any of your classes. If your grade is going to be what you want it to be, you can take it as an NR, so it's not reported on your transcript. It takes a lot of the pressure off trying something new and different, so I thought that was really helpful. But I guess it makes sense because their motto here is theory and practice. So you have their theory of education they put into practice here, whether it be through project work, whether it be through being in the labs, or even how they manage their curriculum and how they help their students. WPI, I'll do a little bit of the statistics, is one of your mid-sized colleges. It's about 5,000 students. It's located here in Worcester, Massachusetts, right? So it's nearby to Holy Cross and Clark. If you haven't already yet, check out my Holy Cross from yesterday. Clark is coming soon. Right? They are a really fun place, though. They are focused on all kinds of engineering, as I said, right? Mechanical, computer science, biomedical, aerospace. I have a couple of you rocket scientists out there. This might be a great spot for you. In terms of alum, Robert Goddard, the father of modern rocketry, right? So that makes sense here, as well as Robert Stempel, who's the inventor of the catalytic converter. Kind of cool. So some things that you don't want to miss here. You know, they are the engineers, obviously, but their mascot is a goat, kind of interesting, right? So I'll leave you to go search out WPI to figure out why that is. In terms of the demographics, it's, as you might expect, a few more men than women, so a little different than some of the other universities that we go to visit. While it's predominantly white, there are a lot of students of color and different cultures and different races here. I love their chant. I'm not going to say it really in the way that they would, but when they go to a sports event, right, it is e to the x, dy dx, e to the x dx, cosine secant tangent sine 3.14159, ei radical pi, fight them off, WPI. And with that, I will send you off. Have a great day.